Hello.
Hello.
Did you hear about the car ramming incident in like Vancouver?
Oh, yeah, I think I did actually.
One of my teachers was one of the person who got hit.
What? No. Are they okay?
No, she passed away.
What?
She was one of the guidance councils. So,
Oh, hmm. I think I'll just start for now, since I don't know if anyone else is coming. Okay. Okay, so last unit we did pitch and notation, so this unit we'll move on to rhythm. So this is an overview. So this is like a larger unit. So we'll split it into like two classes. So this class will be mostly review and some stuff about like beams and stems. And yeah. Okay. So I'm sure you both know this, but basically we have these note values. So whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, and etc. Okay. And then rest values, they're pretty much the same, like the names correspond as well. So whole rest, half rest, quarter rest, eighth rest, and 16th rest. So main thing to note is like when you're drawing a whole rest or a half rest on the staff, is that 5 lines? Yeah. So you want to draw it like underneath the second line like that. And then a half rest, draw it like there. So make sure they're in the space where like if this were the treble clef, then make sure it's on the space where C is. So C. Okay. So dotted notes and rests, basically a dot just adds half of the original value. So if you had a dotted eighth, it would be like an eighth note plus a 16th note. And these are some other examples. So a dotted half note is really common because you'll see for like 3 beats. And then rests, it's the same. If you have a dot after it, then it will just be like basically adds on half of the rest's value. Okay, and a tie. Oh, okay. So basically, a tie combines two notes together. So this is like very straightforward. If you have two quarter notes like that and a tie connects them, then basically the value of the note will just be the two notes combined. So you wouldn't play this twice, you would play it only once. And then the same for this. Okay, so just some review, really simple. Okay, so triplet. Basically, it's a group of three notes. I think like the main thing to remember here is how long like the note value actually is. So a way to remember this is to look at two of the notes. So if you notice this is like this first one here is a quarter note triplet. So if you take two quarter notes and then you take the note value of that, it would be a half note. So basically that's the note value of this quarter note triplet one. And then if it were like an eighth note triplet, you take two eighth notes, so the value would be one quarter note, so one beat. So that's like basically all you want to remember. So a way to find the note value, like how long you actually play the triplet for. And another thing, so basically you must have a three on top for it to be a triplet. So if you didn't have this three and it was just like three notes in a row, or even like one of these, if you didn't have the three, it would just be three eighth notes. So make sure you have the three on top if it's a triplet. Okay, so tapping rhythms. So this is like a really important thing. Basically, you want to have some tapping skills because basically in like piano exams, they might also ask you to like clap or tap rhythms. So does anyone want to tap any of these rhythms? Any volunteers? Okay, do you want to tap the first one?
Oh my bad. I have to do wait, can I get like a stick?
Sure.
Can you hear anything? Or
Not really.
uh, uh
Might be because of like the sound background canceling thing.
how do
Oh,
I turn?
I have to turn on original audio. Wait, can you guys hear this?
No,
No. Mm, what about like clapping? Like that. Can you hear that?
no.
No. I might have to turn on original sound then. Let's see. Mm, okay, what about this? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think like the problem is mainly like the background noise canceling. So yeah, that might be a problem. So um I think you have to like actually leave the meeting and then like go to settings on turn on original sound. Or it might just be in the meet. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you have to like turn off background noise canceling, I think. If you go to audio settings and let's see, where is it?
But can you say it?
Yeah, you can also say it.
One, one, two, three, one, one, two, three, one, one, two, three, one, two.
Yeah. So like the reason I wanted you guys to like practice tapping is basically because like it's kind of like a simple skill also, but basically clapping rhythms will really help you, especially like when you're playing an actual piece, and also just because like it's one of the tests that you'll have to do during your piano exam. Yeah. So I don't think that since clapping doesn't work, so one and two are actually the same, but just in like different time signatures. If you notice, it's 4/4 and 4/8, so they're basically the same. Um, yeah, and another thing to note, like when you're clapping rhythms, you want to have like the entire palm of your hand together. So like, yeah, you want to have like a full sound, and yeah, just basically pay attention when you're clapping. And don't go like too fast either, because otherwise it's easy to make mistakes. So Yeah, I'll clap the third one just as an example. So like 1, 2. Oh wait. Oh, it's 2, 4. Shh. Okay, so 2, 4, for example, if you wanted to clap like 1 and 2 and like that. So you basically want to like, yeah, kind of plan ahead, which I didn't do very well. Okay, so moving on. Oh, okay, so this is basically a section on some beaming rules. So if you don't know, beaming is basically if you have a line joining notes together. So for example, here, like a beam would be this, joining the different notes together. Okay. So yeah, basically beams are a way to join together notes. And so some rules that you want to pay attention to is don't just randomly join the notes together. So you want to join them in a way that follows the time signature. So for instance, like if you look at this here, the way that they join the notes is not like random. They have the first beat joined together and then the second beat joined together. So you want to basically join them in a way that makes sense. So the easiest way to do that is just join notes that are one beat together, so like that. And then if you have something like this, you could just join them like one beat by one beat like that, but you can also just have a whole bar through it if you're lazy. So don't just randomly join them. Don't go like, if this is 3, 4 time, if you were to join these 6 notes like that, then that would be wrong because you're in 3, 4 times. So you want to pay attention to the actual beats of the music. So join them in a way that makes sense. So what I want to point out is follow the time signature, right? So if you were to join these like 6/8 notes here, like I did below, then that would be technically incorrect since you're joining them with like one beat here and then like half a beat part of this grouping. So make sure that your groupings make sense. Okay. And then like for the same thing, like stem direction follows the same rules. Basically, if you're joining together notes that are around the middle, one thing you just want to pay attention to is like whichever side there, like if there are more notes below the middle line, then have the stems go up. If there's more notes above the middle line, then just have the stems go down. And if they're all in the middle, then that's like you can draw the stems whichever way. Okay. So yeah, for like this one, they're all of these notes are in the bottom, below the bottom middle line. So all of the stems go up. This one, all of them are above. And then if you had like something, let's see, how do I draw this? If you had like notes here and you wanted to beam them together, it doesn't matter. But since the like notes before all have stems facing up, then you would want to join the stems up like that, if there were something like that there. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions? Okay then. This is the next main part, so time signatures. What if one is in the middle? Yeah, so basically, yeah, if it's in the middle, then just look at the surrounding notes and then like make a decision. Yeah, it can be both ways. Okay, time signature. So basically, time signature is very important in rhythm, so it's like very, very important. Time signature basically tells you like how you would group beats into measures, shows the meter, and like basically it also decides your pattern of strong and weak beats, if you still remember that. So basically in this image here. Oi, I cannot see it. So in the image on the right here, like the top number basically tells you how many beats. So for like 4/4 time, there would be 4 beats. And then bottom number, that tells you what type of beats they are. So in this case, for 4/4 time, it would be like basically just 4 beats in one measure, and they're quarter beats. So a quarter note receives 1 beat. So you would have like, so you'd have 4 quarter notes, and then that would be 1 measure. Just think of it like that. This is a measure. Okay, and then here I have some bottom number examples. So, oh my god. If you have 4 as your bottom number, then that would mean a quarter note receives 1 beat. And this is like the most typical time signature that you would see, like 4/4, 3/4. They all have 4 as the bottom number. And then 8, basically, this is like a bit faster. And that means an eighth note receives 1 beat. So, for example, if you had 4/8 time, then you would need 4/8 notes like that to make up a measure. And then 2, so this is a bit uncommon, so you guys have probably not seen it. But let's say if this here was like 4/2 time. Oh my god, I can't draw now. 4/2 time. Then you would need 4 half notes to fill the measure. So this is like a bit more common in like older music, if you know what I mean. So like Middle Ages Renaissance music. Okay. Yeah, and then strong and weak beats. So this is really important for when you're completing measures with rests. So since there's so much to cover in rhythm, we'll actually be doing completing measures with rests next class. But basically you want to note this down, you want to remember this because it's really important. So like generally in music, we want there to be contrast, right? So in a time signature, you would start with a strong beat on the first beat always. And then following that, there's always a weak beat. So then if you were like 2/4 time, it would be strong, weak, and etc. etc. If it were triple meter, so like 3/4 time, 3/8 time, you would have strong, weak, strong, weak. And then if it were quadruple meter, you would have strong, weak, medium, weak. So if you were to complete like measures with rests, then you want to remember that weak notes when you're writing rests. So for example, if I wanted to write rest for, let's say, 3/4 time with 1/4 note like that. So I cannot combine 2 weak beats together. So I would have to draw 2 quarter rests. I can't draw 1 like half rest. So that's important to note. And then for like quadruple meter, the medium beat, you can combine that with a weak beat. So if you were to have like a quarter note here, then you could draw it like this. But if you were to reverse it, you cannot combine the weak beat with the medium beat. So this is correct, but this is incorrect. So always remember, like in the context of writing rests, you can combine a stronger beat with a weaker one, but since this is like in an order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, so this case here would be incorrect because you're combining this weaker beat with the medium beat that goes after, so it's like the wrong order. Okay. So for now, just remember like the strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak. That's all you need to know for now. And then next week we'll go into more detail about like some compound time signatures and completing measures with rests. Okay. Okay, so I have two terms written here. So does anyone know what common time is? So what time signature is common time? Does anyone know what common time is? So what key signature? Yeah, so it's 4/4. So it's like very commonly used. So that's kind of like a hint. So now that we know what common time is, does anyone know what cut time is? So it's also a key signature. So which key signature is it? So we have common time, which is 4/4. Does anyone know what cut time is? So like a hint is it looks like this. And then like common time would look like that. So does anyone know what cut time is? And a hint is like you cut, basically cut 4/4. Does anyone want to guess? 2/2, yeah. So 2/2 is right. So cut time, if you were to see it written on a staff with this like C looking thing, it's kind of like cents, haha. Then that just means 2/2 time. And then if you see this C, then it means 4/4 time. So that's important to know. Okay. Yeah, so basically common time is a C. It represents 4/4 time. And the symbol like C with a slash in the middle is used to represent 2/2 time. And here it says like with only 2 main beats per bar, the effect of 2/2 can convey a lighter character. So it's basically, since it's like a bit slower, there's only 2 beats, then it would be a bit more lighter in like rhythmic character. So an important thing is like that basically key signatures and how fast or slow they are can also convey like things about the music. Okay. So in some key signatures, for example, like 4/2 time, so that has like a lot of notes, right? It's 4 half notes to complete just one measure. So you would need like 2 whole notes to complete just one measure. So in some cases, we need notes that are longer than a whole note. So an example of this are these. So you might have not seen these. You can probably guess what dotted whole rest is and like dotted whole note. That's if you need like 6 beats essentially. And then breathe, basically you can have lines around a whole note. That means breathe. And what it is just 2 whole notes together. So it would be 8 beats together. So if you needed to complete like write a beat for a whole measure of 4/2 time, then you can just write a breathe like that. And yeah, I think another, you can also write it like that, but I don't really know how it looks on the music, so we'll see. And then like breathe rest, if you needed a rest to complete the whole measure, then it would just look like that. So between like so think of it like basically like 2 whole rests. So you have these 2 together sitting on top of each other. Okay. So that's like a new note value probably that you guys have not learned yet. And all you need to know is that a breathe is 2 whole notes. Okay. So an example of a 4/2 song. So like you've probably not seen 4/2 any 4/2 songs, but it was common in like previous eras. So that's like, I know, like 1500s. So this is an example from like a song that you would study in history level 10. And this is a old guy who's from the Renaissance era. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what a breathe rest would look like. it's a basically it fills up the entire space between these two lines. And yeah, so this usually means like you would play the song like slower. It's more so this is like a choral song, as you can tell from here. And okay, so on account of music analysis, does anyone know what type of technique is used in this song? So like here, for example, does anyone know what this technique is called when you like repeat yourself? It starts with an I, and then it's like also repeated here and here. Okay. Starts with I. Um, I don't think it's from last class, but like you might have, it's probably familiar. It's like when you're analyzing music, then you would usually use this term a lot. Oh, theory 4. Yeah, I think it was in there somewhere. But like it wasn't too big of a, like we didn't talk about it that much. Inversion, close. So think of like repeating. So what's another word for repeating? Repeat. I repeat. Nope. Okay, I'll give another hint. It's I am. Improvisation. No, not quite. So like think of a word that starts with I am, that where you would like I'm smart. Okay, I'll take it that you guys have given up. So the word is imitation. So it's basically just another word for repeating yourself. And in this song's case, that would mean just like repeating this like imagination. Okay. So in this song, it uses imitation in these four voices here. So we have like starting with the soprano, so you start up high and then you repeat it lower and then lower and then lower. So this song actually sounds very interesting. It's like and then like you repeat the same thing but just lower and lower. Yeah, and if you study like history level 10, then you'll hear this song so much that it like gets stuck in your head because it's so annoying. Okay, but basically, this is like a choral song that's like basically, I think you hear it in church or something. Yeah. Okay, so the main point of this example was to make you have a taste of the suffering of listening to songs in music history. Yeah, pretty much. And also to show you 4/2 time. So, yeah, this is what a brave rest looks like. And then, like, yeah, so it's like half notes as like the one beat is a half note, so it's a bit slower. It's like, so it's very slow and sad. Okay. And yeah, so when you're doing music analysis, like one thing you would want to know if you're looking at a song like this is the imitation. So like you would want to take a note of how like this repeats itself 4 times, and it does a lot more later on as well. So you would want to take note of that and like know the term for it, imitation. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to see if I can find an example of what a breathe looks like the actual note instead of just a rest. Let's see. Let's look in the book. Let's see. I think it was here. 19. Hello, can I change the page? Bit after this. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's what a brief note would look like. So it has like 2 lines around it. It's very interesting looking. So this is the same piece's ending. And basically, yeah, it says it creates a calm and serene effect. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see. Yeah, that's basically an introduction to like time signatures with a half note as a beat. So it's like very common in old times, like Renaissance era. So not very common now. So yeah. But since we're learning about like theory that old people used, so we also have to learn about 4/2 time and like 2/2 time and stuff like that. Okay. Pickups. So I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this term. Basically, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, yo. Okay, so times that you would see a pickup is like when the music doesn't begin on the first beat of the measure. So, some terms to note here are the downbeat and upbeat. So downbeat is actually the first beat of a measure, and then upbeat is the last beat. So kind of think of like, I know, like reverse psychology or something. So like down is first, and then up is last. And then, yeah, so basically a pickup is when you have notes written before the downbeat, so before the first beat of a song. And that is called a pickup. And another fancy term for this is anacrusis. I don't know how it's pronounced. And yeah, basically, if you have a song that begins with a pickup, it will also end with an incomplete measure. So I think we'll see that in the example on the next slide. So since this song here, it starts with like a pickup here, it also ends with an incomplete measure. So one thing you may notice is like here, there's only 3 beats, and then it just ends right there. So that's what I mean by incomplete measure. Since you have 1 beat in the start, basically that makes up for like the incomplete measure. And usually if you had like a repeat sign here or something, then it would make like basically make it a smoother transition as well. So just think of like balance. If you started with a pickup, you also end with an incomplete measure to like account for the balance. Okay. Okay, practice questions. So this is the time that you guys get to draw. Okay. Who wants to draw? Let me number these. Okay, who wants to draw the answers for 1? Actually, what I'll do is I'll split the, how many questions are there? 6 and 10. Okay, who wants to do 1 extra one so you get to do 4 instead of 3? Okay. So I guess Ethan, you can do 1 to 4. And then Elsa, you can do 5 to 7. And then Sue, you can draw 8 to 10. Okay, you guys can all draw at the same time. And then I'll check your answers after. So one thing to note, draw 1 note that is equal. Oh, you can't draw on it. Let's see. Where's my settings? I think it should be enabled. If you want, you can also like private message your answers to me and then I can just draw them on for you. If that's like the, I have to move on the screen. And I have like no idea how Zoom works, so yeah, I think you have to click on like annotate. So for me, that would be like in my toolbar floating kind of thing. Hmm. If it doesn't work, then you can also just message like the type of note. So just write like half note or whatever. Okay, meanwhile, I guess Ethan, you can complete, and Elsa, you guys can do the 3 here. So like Ethan, you can do 2 and then Elsa can do 1. Actually, yeah. Yeah. Sure. And I'll make this out of 10. KK. What is this buck teeth I see here? Anyways, okay, I'm gonna start marking. So, this first one, Rose giving himself check marks. Okay, this is right. This is right. This is right. And is that an 8th note? Okay, yeah, that's right if it's an 8th note. Oh, is there a dot there I see? Am I being blind? Yeah, so make sure you don't misclick so there's no dot, but I'll still say it's correct because I think dot might have been misclick. Oh wait, never mind. I'm blind. Oh bro, I thought that was a triplet. I might be hallucinating. Yeah, so that's right. And oh my god, what is this thick bar thing? Okay, so this is like a very thick bar. Okay, so what you drew, Ethan, was actually a rest, a brief rest. So that's a rest. So yeah, make sure you tell the difference between the rest and the note. So a note looks like that, I think. Yeah, so that's not. So make sure this is rest and then this is note. So since these are notes, draw the note one. Okay. And let's see. Where did your answer for this one go? Meanwhile, let's see. 1 beat, 2 beat. Yeah. My brain is being so slow. Yeah. What is happening here? Why is there just a dot? Yeah, okay. So 9 out of 10. So make sure you draw a brief note, not a rest. Okay, on to the next practice question. Okay, is this the next one? Yeah. Add the missing bar lines. So you guys can each do one. And Sue, did you figure out your annotating? Or does it like still not work? And make sure you add a double bar line at the end, so like that. And I'll make this like, I don't know, like out of how many bar lines should there be? Let's see. I'll just make it out of, I don't know, like 6. Okay. Oh no. No. Then you can like message to tell me where you want to draw your bar lines. But I guess that will be difficult. So this one's kind of hard to like just give a message in the chat to do. But like if there's a question where it's like you can like just type in the answer, then just you can do that one. Are you guys already done or no? Okay, tell me when you guys are done adding bar. Oh, where did Ethan's go? Since you're done, Elsa, I'll mark yours first. Let's see lah. Okay, so one is missing here. Let's see. Yeah, this is right. This one is missing and this is right. Yeah, so make sure you pay attention to like what type of note is one beat. So like here, this would be 2 beats, this quarter note, and then you have like an 8th beats. Isn't it out of 8 beats? Oh, so basically the top note is how many beats there are, so there would be 4 beats, and then the 8 on the bottom basically tells you that an 8th note is a beat. So yeah, so make sure you get like pay attention to top and bottom number. So top is how many beats, bottom is what type of beat. Okay, so that'll be 1 out of 2 since you missed some of them, but it's okay, just make sure you pay attention to the like what type of beats and how many beats. Okay, and Ethan, are you done? Okay, I'll assume that you're done then. Let's see. Yeah. What do you need help on? Huh. Yeah. 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 Yay. And okay, so this one is full marks. And then let's see the third one. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Wait, this is for 2 time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Oh wait, add the double bar line at the end. That's minus 0.5. That's 1.5 out of 2. Add double bar line. Okay, so for this type of question, make sure you add double bar line. Otherwise, that's like minus 0.5 or something. And okay, what? I did. No, bro, you added it after I like. Okay. Anyways, so for this type of question, add double bar line and then yeah, pay attention to like what type of beat. So just remember top number is how many beats there are and then bottom number is what type. So make sure you don't get it mixed up. Okay. What's the next question? Okay, so this one I'll let Sue do. So Sue, can you tell me what type of okay. Since this one you can like type out. So I'm gonna disable. Okay, so I'll have Sue. Can you do the first one? And then who wants to do the second one? Oh, okay, since you volunteered. Then Ethan, do the second one, and then Sue, just type out your answer for the first one. So Ethan, draw here. And then I'll just make this like out of 2 total. So a tip for this type of question is to look at a measure that has a simple beat. So like for example, like this one or this one. What type of number is that, bro? Make your writing visible. Is that an 8 or an infinity? This is what I see. I see 8 over infinity. If it's too hard to write, then just type out infinity. Bro, I just spent like so much hard work trying to get my infinities to be like nice, and then as soon as I draw on computer, it's like so dead. Okay. Sue, if you don't know, you can also just like take a guess. Okay, I'll see. Tip is to use thick marker. Yeah, don't use the thin ones. Let's see. This is the thickest one. That looks so deformed. We have, yeah, I can only draw on paper. Oh, that one's okay. Okay. OMG, so pro. Okay. If you don't know, then Elsa, do you want to help Sue with the first question? So, tip for this, like you can try to look at the simplest one. So like 2 beats here, 1 beat here. And like, boop. Oh, bruh, Ethan just went and did both of them. Okay. Make sure you don't do the questions that you're not supposed to, even if you know the answer. Give other people a chance. Okay. Oh my god. Can I erase? Okay, let's see. I did it randomly. Yeah. This is right. And let's see if this one is. Yeah, this one's also right. So 2 out of 2. So a tip for these types of questions is, so I'm gonna clear this up a bit. So a tip for these types of, so this one was 3, 4, and then this was 3, 2. So a tip for these questions, so if you look at this first bar here, it's like very complicated and like you'll probably be confused by it. So ignore this. You only have to look at one measure really. So here, you can look at the groupings in this measure. So there's 3 groupings here. So that tells you, oh, it's probably 3 beats, right? And you also have like 1, 2, 3, and like 1, 2, 3. So try to look at the simple measures, and then once you have the number of beats, so you know that there's number is 3 beats, and then look at what type of note is 1 beat. So here, this is 1 beat here, and this is 1 beat here. So you can look at these two, and then oh, this beat is a quarter note and this beat is also a quarter note. So that tells you that the bottom number is a 4. So then you can write out your time signature. Oh, what's a perfect way to draw a perfect circle? Is there like a... Huh. How do you even do that? Bro's experimenting with annotate. Okay, so basically, don't look at the confusing measures. Ignore this one. And then look at the simple measures. To the right of the pens. Oh, yeah, there's shapes here. I can also draw an arrow. Okay. So, for this one, so this is 3, 2. So the same tip applies. So you can try to find the easiest, rectangle. So try to find the easiest bar. So this one here is pretty simple. And also you can like reference with other measures to try and decide. And then this one at the end to help you decide what type of note. So if you look at this, there's also like 3 general groupings. And then this is also like 3 groupings. So that from that you can tell there's like, for the number of beats, it would be 3. Since you have like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And then for the type of note, then you can look at any one of these. So look at like this. Stop drawing rectangles. So for this one, you can look at the type of note. So this one here is a good one to look at, and this pen is so fat. I'm gonna erase. Okay, so to find out like, so you know the top number is 3 after looking at some of the groupings like that. And then you can take one of those groupings and then think, oh, this is 4 eighth notes or 2 quarter notes and 2 quarter notes, so 1 half note. And then you can also reference other ones. So like this is 1 quarter rest and 1 quarter note. So together that would be worth 2 beats or a half note. So then you can tell that the bottom note is a half note. And then to check at the end, you can look at this last note here. So this is basically a whole note plus 2 beats. So it would be whole note plus a half note. And then you can split that into 3 half notes. So that's a good way to check at the end. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me see if there's any more practice questions. Oh yeah, we also have this. Okay. No more rectangle. Okay. This one's a bit more like you have some different options. So, yeah. I guess like Ethan and Elsa, you can each do one. And yeah. KK. Don't just draw lines between them. So you have to rewrite it. Rewrite. Beam. And then add bar lines. Or you can add bar lines first if you need to like organize yourself. What's beaming? So basically, if you notice, like all of these notes are like one by one. Don't change the time signature. So all it wants you to do is connect some of the notes with a beam. So for example, I'm totally not giving away the answers. So for example, you could do that. I can't close chat. Just try pressing on chat in the menu. Okay, so this is an example. I'm not going to do too much, so that would be beaming together notes. Okay. Oh, that's my underline. Okay. So keep the time signature, just beam together the notes, and add some bar lines as well. I want to see if I can draw a good treble clef. Oh my god, that's very shaky. Let's see. Okay, that's okay. Let's see how I do with a thin pen. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Ooh, smart pen. Oh, maybe I should draw with the smart pen. What the? The smart pen is so smart. Look, it turns my treble clef into a rhombus. Yes. I'll mark this out of, let's see. I'll mark it out of 8, so 4 for each question. Okay. So this will be out of 8. No more shapes. KK. I'll mark yours. So, the 4 marks. Basically, 1 mark for rewriting, another mark for your bar lines, and another mark for your, and then 2 marks for your beaming. Okay, let's see. So first of all, you did not rewrite it. That's -1. Bro, take away the fact that I can't do it. Okay. Let's see your beaming. Okay, bar lines. Bar lines, good. Good. And good. Okay, and then beaming. So this is good. I'll talk about this. So this is also good, but there's also like other ways to write it. So this is also another one of those examples. Okay, so Ethan, you get 3 out of 4. He is cheating. How? Yeah. Maybe I should make 2 marks for rewriting. But anyways, the rewrite, not rewriting part is -1. So make sure you rewrite it. Like if you just did this on like an actual paper, then probably like the... Okay, then I'll make rewriting 2 points since it shows how much effort you put into the problem. And then 1 mark for bar lines, 1 mark for beaming, 2 marks for rewriting. 4 out of 4. 2 out of 4 since you did not rewrite it. Like if you actually didn't rewrite it on an actual like paper exam, then basically whoever's marking your paper would be like, what the heck? 0 out of 4. Yeah, but other than that, like everything's correct. Just make sure you actually do what the problem asks you. So, okay. Let's make this a bit more 40 out of 4. I must keep my beautiful treble clef there. Okay. 2 out of 4. Okay, so the things that I underlined here, I want to talk about. So I'll talk about it when Elsa finishes. Wait, what happened to my chat? Okay, Elsa, are you done? Okay, I'll mark yours. Oh my god, take away the shapes. Okay, rewrite. Yes, that's 2 marks already. Okay. Let's see bar lines. So bar lines is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. I'm gonna turn off annotating. Disable. Okay. So bar lines are good. Okay, so one thing to note is when you beam the notes, I don't want you to actually combine them. So instead, I want you to do write something like this. So I'm gonna write it on the one above. Write like that. And like this one, you could write like that. Oh, yeah. It's okay. Just make sure. So if it wanted you to combine the notes, then it would probably say like combine. But since this one says beam the notes, all it wants you to do is just draw some lines across the top to like show the which ones you would combine. So since this one is 4, okay, I'll just write it on top of here. So I'll give you, let's see here. I'll give you 3 out of 4 since 2 for rewriting and 2 for the 1 for the bar line. Okay, so when you're beaming these notes, you also need to pay attention to like the time signature. So for this one, it's 4/8. Oh my god, it's already 7:30. That was a jump scare. Okay, I'll just quickly explain this. So make sure you beam according to the beat. So the correct answer for this would be something like this. And then let's see, you could do like this and then that. Yeah, so pretty much that's all you need to do. And then the one I wanted to talk about for the underline here is when you have this case, you can beam them like this. So like that. And then in this case, you can beam them like this. So like that. Okay, does that make sense? So when it's asking you to beam notes, all they want you to do is draw some lines across the top. Okay, so all in all, you guys got 5 out of 8. Solid effort. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this class. So we actually didn't have time to do the GimKit. Could you turn off the whiteboard? Like that. Yeah, we'll do a gim kit. We'll start with a gim kit next class on like since what is that gif I see? Anyways, so we'll start with the gim kit like first thing next class since we didn't have time this class because I got carried away with the practice questions. But yeah, we'll start with the gim kit next class. So we'll do it like first thing. Bro is storyboarding. There are many templates. Oh, that's cool. We have flowchart diagram. Yeah, I didn't know that existed. So we can do some stuff on draw stuff on here. But like also like drawing with like mouse and stuff is pretty hard. So I'll see if there's any like optimal way to do practice questions. Okay, so that wraps up this class. So this class we won't have any homework because it was mostly review. So yeah, pretty much next class we'll start with the gim kit and finish up rhythm. And that's all. And see you guys next week. Bye bye.